Evening, everybody. Welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV's coverage of the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship on iRacing. Week number 10 of the series is going to bring us to Peevely, Missouri's Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Good evening, everyone. I'm Drake York. Joining me is Tyler Harris. And Tyler, we were just talking about awesome racetracks, and Peevely seems to be near the top of everybody's list.
It all dates back probably well before the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars 2002 game, but that is where a lot of us became familiar with this track unless you're native to the area. And however, we have it to the benefit of us live here on UDTV here tonight and on iRacing, courtesy of Brett Wheeler and company. Sparky, thank you so much for putting this on. It's qualifying now on the track at Peevely.
Finished up a few moments ago, looking at Matt. Last night, podium finished with the Next Level Racing 360s aboard that beautiful red, yellow, and black number 2. Braden Eiler, another one of the pro drivers in the field, works his way through 3 and 4 as we get qualifying started. 3 minutes for every driver to post 2 qualifying laps. And the neat thing about this is we're able to qualify everybody all at once, so no one overlaps each other, makes the program go a lot faster.
Greg, the golden question here is, will we see a 9-second lap here in qualifying? Almost a minute complete to this point, and we are mighty close. Evan C. with a 10.073 second lap. Will they eclipse that 9-second point?
That's the big question. We saw Kyle Larson eclipse that mark back in 2020 during that impressive year of his sprint car career. Evan C., as you mentioned, the fastest at the 10.073. Does anybody have anything for him? Just under 2 minutes left in qualifying as we watch Timothy Smith backing into turns 1 and 2. He now shoots the top of the charts, and they're close to that 9-second mark of 10.040.
Drivers are honing in slowly but surely. Clayton Tilley tying what was the fastest time at one point. Tilley. A lot of drivers getting close to that point as well, but this track will slick up quick. So if drivers are going to make their move, it's got to be early in qualifying, and we will see that breakdown happen very fast in heat race action.
Track, for whatever reason, seems to slick off very, very quick as it seems like nobody's on the track with just under, now make it exactly, a minute left in qualifying. Timothy Smith, the fastest at a 10.040. Kenny Miller looking for the three-peat, looking to be the first driver since season 1 of the series to complete that feat. He is second at a 10.6. 30 cars signed in for racing action tonight. It looks like 25 taken time, but you look it down through the order, top 5 all in the 10-0 bracket. Sean Timmerman, 6th. Driver we normally don't see the series. He's the first driver at a 10-1, and then you got to go all the way back to 11th to find a 10-2. So pretty close between the front runners here tonight. Noticing Mason Hannigan and Tyler Schell, top 2 in points, down in 12th and 13th. Schell enters the night second in points. Hannigan, your points leader coming into tonight, so they may have a little work ahead of them in the heat races tonight as the clock looking to strike 0 here in about 5 seconds to round out qualifying.
Beautiful aerial shot there of Federated Auto Parts I-55 Speedway. Tell you what, iRacing got it right here, man. This track is beautiful.
I couldn't say it any better myself. This track is about as perfect as they come. Qualifying now officially done. Timothy Smith, the fastest at a 10.040. Kenny Miller, 2nd. Evan C., 3rd. Clayton Tilley, the Aussie, 4th. Aiden Beerline, 5th. Berman, 6th. Braden Eiler, 7th. Tanner Pettit, 8th. Ross Kaiser, 9th. And Eric Whitner rounds out the top 10. Then it's Blake Giglow, Schell, Hannigan as we go throughout the rest of the field. Now we are ready to go for heat race action here tonight. Line up for heat race number 1 by virtue of going the fastest in qualifying. Timothy Smith will line up on the inside of the front row to his outside, the Aussie Clayton Tilley. Braden Eiler, Eric Whitner back in number 2. Your points leader, Little Hurricane Mason Hannigan will start 5th in this one alongside SpongeBob Ryan Avila. Matthew Crook, we talked about his amazing run last night at Port Royal with the Next Level Racing 360s, will line up 7th. Ernie Williams in the Black Diamond Motorsports 91 will start 8th. Michael Farron and J.D. Brown will round out your field here in heat race number 1.
Heavy hitters in this heat race, including that one who starts on the pole, Timothy Smith. had a very impressive start to this season, was very consistent early on, but it seems like over the past few weeks has kind of started to taper off just a little bit. Not necessarily his fault, just because of the thick competition within the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Championship Series. However, he does find himself currently ninth in championship points, so he is looking to take advantage of that top qualifying spot. Hopefully can pull off a heat race win here for himself and put himself in a very prominent position come feature time.
7 pro drivers will make up a good margin of this 10-car starting lineup for heat race number 1 for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship on iRacing. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday evening. We know we are, and we're having a great time bringing you all the coverage here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Top 3 out of the heat races will advance straight in the feature. 4th on back will be sorted out into one of the lower mains. Should be getting the one to go signal this time by to kick off racing action here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55.
Ryan Avila in that 49 car has definitely made a name of himself this season, not only here in Apex, but in other series as well. Just in the iRacing community, that name has been thrown around quite a lot. But keep your eye on that number 17 of Eric Whitner. He's been coming up slowly but surely this year. Hasn't really had his name in too many prominent positions in the early stages as the green flag flies, but keep your eye on that red and black number 17.
Sorts their way out through turns 1 and 2 and up the back straightaway for the first time. Timothy Smith jumps out to the early lead. Look at least 3 different lines these drivers are utilizing throughout the field.
Side by side for that third position right now, and here comes Ryan Avila sticking his nose into it, but he does back out coincidentally as the field goes through 3 and 4. Now here on lap number 3, Timothy Smith still leads.
Leader Clayton Tilley second, Braden Eiler your third and final transfer as they run. Your points leader Mason Hannigan just 1 spot out, but he has got problems of his own to face. He's got Eric Whitner and Ryan Avila, the 251 Esports teammates, right in his back bumper. Don't count out Ernie Williams Jr. in this battle too, so they go 3 wide off of 4.
3 wide in 1 and 2 as well. Whitner holding on to that spot over top of Avila and Ernie Williams Jr. He's trying to track down Mason Hannigan. Will he have enough here? It's hard to say for sure. We still got just under half of this race to go.
The track's still pretty fresh, and that means there is a lot of lines for these drivers to choose from. Hannigan steps up to the high side, trying to close in on Eiler. Meanwhile, the best race on the track is for that spot between Whitner, Avila, and Williams. Oh, Williams in the back of Avila. Avila around, Williams around, collects J.D. Brown. Williams does a 360, keeps it going. And with the Apex rules, we do not throw a yellow flag during the heat races, so we stay green.
Out for a second on your screen there. They make contact going into turns 1 and 2. That is Clayton Tilley, Braden Eiler, second and third respectively. They don't want to make any mistakes because here comes Mason Hannigan. He's closing in as the white flag flies.
Hannigan have anything for Eiler. He looks low through 1 and 2. Doesn't have the momentum that 5 car does off the corner. Meanwhile, Eiler the inside of Tilley for the second spot. Drag race to the line for second. Give it to Tilley, but your winner is Timothy Smith. Tilley edges out Braden Eiler for second. Eiler will have to settle for third. Those are your 3 transfers out of Heat 1. Then it's Mason Hannigan, Eric Whitner. Others back out down into the lower main tonight. Once again, Smith your winner, Tilley, Eiler, Hannigan, or should say Smith, Tilley, Eiler your transfers. Hannigan, Whitner, Farron, Croak, Williams, Avila, and Brown will be in a lower feature later this evening.
I feel like a lot of what you have to watch out for here as heat race number 2 pops up on your screen is you got to keep your nose clean. You got to put yourself in a good position and just stay out of trouble.
I think that's definitely the name of the game. There's no question about that. And on the inside of the front row, this driver looking to do something that hasn't been achieved since season 1 of this series. Let's go 3 in a row. Kenny Miller looks to do that here this evening, but he's got to make it through his heat race first. Roll from the pole to his outside will be Aiden Beerline. California's Tanner Pettit will start to the inside of row number 2, and to his outside is Blake Giglio. Scabsgay and PA driver Kenny Hoffman will make up row number 3. Randy Shreves and Joe Howe, row number 4. And your 5th and final row, 2 California drivers will round it out. Cole Croft, son of California racer Willie Croft. Your 10th and final starter in the Swindell Speed Lab, number 74, that is Adam Elby. Cars to go for 10 laps, top 3 advance straight into tonight's feature event.
Definitely some interesting names in his one to keep an eye on. Blake Giglio is one that comes to mind for me. 6 in this heat race currently hold a pro license, so you're going to want to watch out. Tons of competition in this 10-lap heat race coming up here next.
It's hard to just pick 3 out of this, and we're going to see how it all shakes out here at heat race number 2. iRacing Chevy Silverado will pull down to the infield, leaving the field in the hands of Kenny Miller and Aiden Beerline. Miller is on the throttle, and he jumps out in front of the rest of the field into turn 1.
Huge start there for Kenny Miller as they make their way down the backstretch now. Aiden Beerline in second. Tanner Pettit now in that third spot. Pettit going to battle to the inside. He might lose a little bit of ground here to Giglio. He does temporarily. That inside line has shown throughout the course of this season, or last visit that we had here at I-55, that it can be used very well if the setup is right and the driver is right as well. As into the outside wall goes Pettit, and that is going to ruin his heat race here tonight.
Now Kenny Hoffman, the big winner out of that one. He was able to get past Giglio and Pettit. He shoots around the outside of the 16 one more time. PA driver Kenny Hoffman in the 51 Esports number 11 in that third and final transfer spot. Tanner Pettit down but not out. He is currently battling with Joe Howe. Howe with a short slider on the 24 as they drag race down the backstretch for 6th.
I say ruin, and here he is making a fool of me. He's battling back. Tanner Pettit won't have any of it if he has anything to say. 5 laps into this 10-lap feature event, or heat race event, rather. Huge move coming from the inside there on Howe, and Howe into the wall. That's going to put Adam Elby up another spot.
Adam Elby started shotgun on the field back in 10th, has only made it up to 7th, but still, that's going to improve his starting spot in the lower main dramatically. Up front, Kenny Hoffman has led since the drop of the green flag. Aiden Beerline trying to close in with 2 laps to go. Question is, can he get to that PA driver? Of course, Kenny Miller won the last 2 races, also recently picked up his first World of Outlaws win on iRacing as he takes the white flag.
Kenny Miller has been dominant. I do think, if I do say so myself, we see the three-peat tonight as he makes his way through turn 3 and now turn 4 to the checkered flag. Kenny Miller picks up heat race number 2 victory.
Your winner, Aiden Beerline second, and Kenny Hoffman, your 3 transfers into the feature. Then it's Giglio, Sabske, Pettit, Howe, Croft, Shreves, and Elby rounding out your field.
Entertaining heat race number 2 there. Once again, the name of the game, just keeping your nose clean. That one a lot cleaner than heat race number 1, but nonetheless, it's going to get more and more complicated as we make our way through those provisional races as you take a look at the results for heat race number 2.
Kenny Miller, one more time, your winner. He will start on the outside of the road looking for the 3. Aiden Beerline second, Kenny Hoffman third. Your 3 transfers into the feature. Then it's Giglio, Sabske, Pettit, Croft, Shreves, and Elby rounding out your field. Moving on to the lineup for heat race number 3, Evan C. will lead us down to the green flag in car number 33, and to his outside is Sean Timberman, excuse me. Ross Kaiser and Tyler Schell will bring up row number 2. Tyler Schell, the winningest driver in Apex history, also second in the points coming into tonight. Aiden Forrester, last night's winner with the Next Level Racing 360s, will start 5th. To his outside is Merrill Gehring, the 4th. Sergeant and Alex Rzinski, he had another good run last night with the Next Level Racing 360s. A podium run for Alec. Eyes on him in car number 22. Then it's going to be Nathan Davis and Isaac Soares rounding out your 10-car starting lineup. 10 laps the distance, top 3 in the night's feature.
Evan Say, definitely one that has proven himself in many instances throughout his career in this season as well. 4 of these drivers currently hold a pro license, so you're going to want to watch out here. Sean Timmerman, an interesting story on that gentleman. He was at one point a very talented racer as the green flag flies in iRacing, has had to work himself back up after trying to drop to a 0 iRacer rating intentionally to see how fast he could rebuild that rating. Unfortunately for him, he was banned for that. He comes back to iRacing, earns his pro card. However, they deemed that he was not eligible for that pro card since he had been banned within a 6-month period. So Sean Timmerman, if you will, looking to make a name for himself once again upon the iRacing sprint car ranks.
Is off to a good start in this heat race. Not the start he wanted. He's currently 1 spot out of a feature starting spot, trying to hold off Tyler Schell. It's Evan C. up front, Ross Kaiser second, Aiden Forrester now on the inside of Kaiser. That's the race for the 2nd spot. Oh, and Tyler Schell around in front of everybody, keeps it pointing the right direction. We stay green, but that race for the 2nd spot is hot and heavy, and here comes Sean Timberman.
Here comes Ross Kaiser to the inside. He's going to try it, but man, Zimmerman, huge run. They make contact and that's going to send Kaiser into the wall. Tough break for him, but Timmerman will not be denied. He's in that third and final transfer spot.
C may be a sit and duck because Aiden Forster has thrown caution to the wind on the high side of the speedway, and he is closing in bit by bit on Evan C. Meanwhile, the race for that third and final transfer spot brewing between John Timberman and Mil Gehring. The fourth, we're looking back. Alex Rzinski on the charge now. He works to the outside of Ross Kaiser. Move Alex Rzinski into the fifth spot.
Never roll Alex Rzinski out of a race if he has anything to say about it. The battle for the lead now on your screen. Evan C., Aiden Forster. Forster with a slide job coming out of 4. He's got it complete as the white flag now flies.
Can Evan C. get back to him? Doesn't have the speed he needs off of turn number 2. Forrester, bit of a defensive line in a 3 and 4. He'll sweep wide and take the checkered flag in heat race number 3. Evan C. second. Sean Timberman, your third and final transfer. Then it's Gehring, Strzinski, Kaiser, Sargent, Shell, Davis, and Soares rounding out the field.
What a heat race. Unbelievable action there. Aiden Forster saved what he had till the very end. Didn't show his nose. Didn't show his cards, essentially, until he absolutely needed to. A veteran move there from Aiden Forster.
Forrester trying to make history tonight since the inception of the Next Level Racing 360 Sprint Car League, which happened during Season 3 of the Apex Series. No one has ever swept the week with the 360 and the 410. Aiden Forrester looking to be the first driver to do that here this evening. He's your winner in heat race number 3. He will start third in tonight's feature. Then it's Evan C. and Sean Timberman going to the feature. Gehring, Strzinski, Kaiser, Sargent, Shell, Davis, and Soares will all go to a lower main. Speaking of lower mains, we're ready to go with tonight's D main event. To the inside of the front row, this driver, keep your eyes on him throughout the rest of the night because he could make a super run. That's Ryan Avila wearing the SpongeBob helmet per usual tonight. And to his outside is Randy Shreves. Nathan Davis and J.D. Brown will make up row number 2. Then it's Adam Elby and Isaac Soares rounding out your 6-car starting field.
This 6-car starting field could be a dash in pretty much any series around iRacing, and here we are, a D main. Unbelievable, but that's how things can crack down sometimes here at Federated Auto Parts I-55 Speedway. You just never know, and now we've got some serious talent in a D main.
Ryan Avila and J.D. Brown are two that stand out to me. They were both swept up in a heat race crash, and that put them out of the running for a transfer spot basically instantly. They have got a long way to go if they want to make a super run tonight. But Ryan Avila, if I had to pick anybody out of tonight's D main event, I'd say he's got the best shot to make it all the way through the soup.
Ryan Avila with 1 feature win on the season in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Championship Series. He currently sits 5th in points. Why is that significant? Top 5 get paid out in this series, and also the top 5 earn a free entry into next season.
Flag is out. Top 3 out of tonight's D main event to the C. Ryan Avila is the charge through 1 and 2, and he's already built up a sizable advantage by the time he makes it to turn 3.
Don't roll out Adam Elby either. A little bit of contact there. J.D. Brown on the bad end of the stick on that one as Adam Elby up to the 2nd spot early.
Randy Shreves and Isaac Soares mano-a-mano for that 3rd and final transfer spot off the corner. Give to Soares. He is in the C event right now as you look back from Adam Elby's number 74. Elby running back in the 2nd spot. Soares and Shreves still going at it off the corner. This time by Soares still has a spot.
California dreaming in the heart of Missouri. Adam Elby in the 2nd spot. Isaac soars up to now 3rd, as you mentioned it yourself. Take a look at a ride along here with Nathan Davis. No SpongeBob fit on that one. However, a very respectable looking driver as he makes his way around here halfway through this D main event.
Soares is one of the first drivers we've seen trying to make the bottom side of the racetrack work as Nathan Davis got into the wall off at turn number 4. He's currently 1 spot out of the C main, but he's got to close in on Soares. But the Apex Series, Dylan Yeager rolled the bottom to victory lane. Soares is already down there trying to work that racetrack in. As contact into the wall for Davis, he's going to lose his spot to Shreves.
Yeah, that's as you mentioned, and the graphic shows there, Dylan Yeager was dominant in the early stages of this season, currently sits 11th in points. He is the only driver, I believe, outside of the top 10 with a feature win to his credit in the Apex Series this season. 2 laps remaining here for Ryan Avila. He has owned this D main event.
Leads by just over 2 seconds now as he's going to turn for the white flag and he is already down to the bottom side of the racetrack, and you can see the color change down there. 3 and 4, one final time for Ryan Avila. He'll pick up the win in tonight's D main event. He's going to the C, as well as Adam LB and Isaac Soares. Done for the night is Randy Shreves, JD Brown, and Nathan Davis.
There will be some track prep after the B main event. So that inside line, though, Drake, looking juicy. Plenty of moisture down there if a driver can find it.
Turn around for the D main event transfers as we get ready to go for tonight's C main event here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. One last look at your D main event finishing order. Ryan Avila, your winner. He'll on to the C along with Adam Elby and Isaac Soares. Randy Shreves finished 4th. JD Brown 5th. Nathan Davis 6th. Those 3 cars done for the evening. Top 3 scheduled to transfer out of tonight's C main event into the B. Here's how they'll line up. Matthew Croak, last night, great run at the Port Royal Speedway with a podium run with the Next Level Racing 360s. He'll line up on the inside of the front row, and to his outside Jersey driver, Joe Howe. Sargent and Black Diamond Motorsports' Ernie Williams Jr. will make up row number 2. Cole Croft to the inside of row number 3. He'll start 5th, and Tyler Schell all the way back in a C main event. He'll line up 6th. Then we go back to our D main event transfers. Ryan Avila, by virtue of winning the D main, will start 7th in tonight's C main event. Adam Elby to his outside. Your 9th and final starter in tonight's C main event, Isaac Soares, the 3rd and final transfer out of the D main event.
A special thanks to iRock TV for simulcasting this event here tonight. Once again, iRock TV available on Roku devices.
Begin, ready to go. Green flag racing this time by with tonight's C main event for the Apex Autoglass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship. The Croak, Joe Howe, the front row. Top 3 will advance into the B main. And after the B main, before the feature, we should have some track prep, give the drivers a nice juiced up surface.
Looks like Ernie Williams Jr. going to get shuffled back here to start, possibly going to the tail. Looks like he might be going to the tail. A little bit of retribution here for Ernie Williams Jr. Probably has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder due to that last heat race performance. He's a most certainly capable driver. He could easily make a soup run here from the C to the B to the A.
Keep your eyes on Ryan Avila, Adam Elby, and Isaac Soares making, or at least looking to make a soup run as the pace truck down the infield. Green flag is out in the C.
Tyler Schell going to go straight to the outside from that back row. Nearly 4 wide at I-55. Are you kidding me? Look at this early stages. Matthew Croakey has a clear vision ahead of him. He leads on lap number 1.
Top 3 once again going into the B main event, and it is tough sledding at the front of the field. Croak out, Sargent currently the top 3. Tyler Schell on the outside looking in. He swings way wide through turns 1 and 2. Tries to split the middle, just can't get there. But now he's got to run to the inside of Howe. That's the battle for the 3rd and final transfer.
Croak looking strong early. Sargent in 2nd. Schell in 3rd. Going to go to the inside. Schell is flirting with that inside. I think he's trying to find it in these early stages. As I say that, he goes right to the high side through 3 and 4. He's willing to go whatever it takes to get back up to the B main.
Tyler Schell now with a monster run through turns 1 and 2. Gets by Dustin Sargent for 2nd. Now swings low. Sargent with a bid to the inside. Those two make contact. They keep it straight. We stay green. Adam Elby now on the move. He takes a look to the inside of Sargent.
Ernie Williams Jr. out to the outside wall. He goes a flipping, and that is going to put a damper on his evening. 8 laps now complete. You take a look at the battle. That is Ryan Avila now up to the 3rd spot. Unbelievable battle with Adam Elby and Ryan Avila, 2 D-main transfers making an impact in this C-main event.
Ryan Avila's got the spot that time at the line. Now he swings right, trying to get a run on Croak as they head up the back straightaway. Avila now dips to the inside. LB on his tail through 3 and 4.
Matthew Croak, you have got your hands full and you don't even see it coming yet. Now he does. Ryan Avila to the inside of 1 and 2, but Croak holds on at least for one more lap. At least one more set of turns. Ryan Avila tries a bull slide job, contact, and croak like that from second to fourth. Now battling back to the inside of Adam Elby. Elby with the position in third for now. Elby not done yet. He's going to battle as the white flag flies with Ryan Avila on this final lap.
Croak have anything for LB on this final lap? It looks like Shell and Avila comfortably in transfer spots. Down to the checkered flag. It's Tyler Shell, your winner of the C main. Avila and Adam LB hangs on for the third and final transfer spot. Croak, House, Soares, Croft, Sargent, and Williams done for the evening.
What a move there for Adam Elby. Right as he was coming out of turn number 4, you almost saw it on your screen there. He made a very sharp, quick right-hand turn to block that high line. Croak was coming, and I don't know if Adam Elby knew that or not, but he made a quick move to the outside to block that line to ensure that Croak could not get that third spot away from him.
Tyler Shell will keep on trucking tonight here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. He's going to the B-main event. Ryan Avila and Adam Elby. Then it's Croak, Soares, Croft, Sargent, and Williams rounding out the field. And it's worth noting Ryan Avila and Adam Elby were down in the D main event. They now have a shot to make it into tonight's feature event. We'll take 11 out of the B main event and them to the tail of the field for tonight's A main event. I'm getting all my letters mixed up. Mason Hannigan will roll from the pole to his outside the 16 of Blake Giglio. The fourth will start to the inside of number 2 to his outside is Eric Whitner. Chris and Alex Rzinski will make up run number 3. Michael Fair and Tanner Pettit run number 4. Ross Kaiser will start 9th, and your C main event winner Tyler Shell will start 10th. Ryan Avila, who also, as we just mentioned, was in the D main event, starts 11th, as well as Adam Elby, just like Avila down in the D main event earlier, will take 11 out of B main event to the feature, so only one car will not advance.
Yeah, it's tough to be the one car sitting out in the B main, but a couple cars already have had to suffer that same fate in the D main and in the C main. Nonetheless, only the top performers here tonight can make it in, and if you want to be that guy, you just got to make sure that you are not the worst out of the bunch. So plenty of opportunity to make it in here tonight.
Hannigan and Giglio set the pace into the fire-off zone in turn number 4. Hannigan's on it. We're green flag racing tonight's B-main event.
Eric Whitner going to go to the outside, a battle for that third spot. Contact through the field, and it looks like that is Tyler Shell flipping violently. Unbelievable. That's going to put a damper on his night here on the B main. Early stages yet, but we'll see if that damage is going to be too much to overcome. You see that battle continuing between Whitner and Gehring. That battle is for third.
And side by side back behind him with Trzynski and Pettit slicing and dicing. Basically about a 4-car race right now for the third spot as they all dive into turn number 3.
All these cars will likely transfer if they can hold these spots for at least, but nonetheless, every position matters in that A main feature event, so the more you can gain, the better chance you've got to pull off a victory here. 5 laps complete. Mason Hannigan, your points leader in Apex 410 Sprint Car Series, is your leader in this B main tonight.
That's big because his closest rival Tyler Shell, who's second in the points, all the way back in 12th, and as they run currently out of the feature, and you know Tyler Shell is just hoping and praying somebody flips in this one so he can make it into tonight's feature event, as he is still 1 spot out and trailing Michael Farron by about a second.
Luckily, there is a drop. There's actually 2 drops in the point standing, so if unfortunately that is his fate, he has a chance to drop a bad finish, but nonetheless, no provisionals, so you gotta earn your keep in this Apex series.
Pettit to the inside of Eric Whitner. That's the race for the third spot. 251 esports cars duking it out for the third spot. 2 totally different lines through the corner. Eric Whitner's got the best of Pettit, banging the boards around the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Still can't get past his teammate.
That's right. A little pushing for the cushion. Tanner Pettit ain't afraid of it. He's going straight to the high side, and he ain't going away from it unless he absolutely has to, but he's loving that line in that battle with Whitner for third.
It finally cleared his teammate for the moment, and now he definitely has cleared Eric Whitner for that third spot. Keep your eye on Tanner Pettit. We're going to see if he has anything for Blake Giglio in second.
And with the best seat in the house, besides what you're seeing live here on UDTV and on iRock TV, Chris Sabisky has the best seat in the house in that 5th spot. Alex Jasinski behind him in 6th. Merrill Gehring battling in 7th. And as is Ryan Avila trying to advance as many positions as he possibly can here with 2 laps remaining.
Back at Michael Farron, and just behind him, you can see Tyler Schell. This is the race for the 11th and final transfer spot. White flag is out. Hannigan works the cushion, 2, 3, and 4. He'll take the checkered flag in tonight's B-main event. Then it's Giglio, Pettit, Whitner, Savsky, Szerzinski, Avila, Gehring, Elby, Kaiser, Farron, your 11th transfers, and Tyler Schell, the only driver on the outside looking in after tonight's B-main event.
Tough break for the man who sits 2nd in Apex points. Tyler Schell, 1 feature win on the season. He's on the outside looking in. Once again, no provisionals, so he is out here tonight. But take a look at your feature finish for this B-main feature event.
Hannigan, your winner, your points leader, will make it into tonight's feature event. As we're now working in the racetrack for tonight's feature event, all the feature cars out there and get the speedway in tip-top condition. And beauty of iRacing is you can just flip over a racetrack like that. So while they work the racetrack in, we'll step aside, but when we come back here on Ultimate Dirt TV, the feature event for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship from the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Welcome you back to Ultimate Dirt TV's coverage of Week 10 with the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship. It is now featured time at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Here is your starting lineup. And race control is dragging their feet, as Brett told me. So I guess, Tyler, now this is our time to give Sparky some grief. He's delaying our show.
He's late. He's late to. Race control meetings. He's late to this now. I mean, just not very efficient in my opinion. But now look, here we go. We're ready to roll. Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car feature event. The lineup is on the screen. Drake, take it away.
20th, your 11th and final transfer out of tonight's B-Man event. That's Michael Farron out of the great state of Pennsylvania, and to his inside is Ross Kaiser. Is Adam Elby in the Swindell Speed Lab 74 will start 18th. To his inside in the 17th spot is Mill Gearing the 4th. Keep your eyes on this driver. Just like Elby, he came all the way from the D main event to the feature in the SpeedShot51.com 49. It's Ryan Avila. To his inside podium run for this driver last night, Alex Zinski with a great run at the Port Royal Speedway with the Next Level Racing 360s starts 15th. Chris Sabske to the outside of number 7 will start 14th. Eric Whitner in one of the many 51 Esports 17. He will start 13th. Another 51 Esports cars, this one the number 24 of Tanner Pettit. Blake Giglio to his inside in 11th. Your points leader, Mason Hannigan. Little Hurricane will start 10th in this one, and to his inside, a driver we normally don't see with the series, that's Sean Timberman starting 9th. Pennsylvania driver and another one of those 51 Esports cars. This is the 11 of Kenny Hoppin. To his inside is Braden Eiler. Then C will start 6th in tonight's feature event. To his inside is Aiden Beerline. And driver Clayton Tilley. Ozzy on the outside of row number 2. And to his inside, this driver trying to complete a feat that's never been done. Sweet with the Next Level Racing 360s and the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Championship. That's Aiden Forrester. Your front row now, Kenny Miller looking to be the first driver since season 1 to three-peat, and to his inside will be Timothy Smith looking for the clean sweep on the night.
Plenty of storylines going into this A-Main feature event as the pace track pulls off. We are Green Flag Racing.
Timothy Smith on the break into turn number 1. He's your race leader. Everybody, big crash back behind him in the field. That sweeps up Pettit as well as Elby. Quite a number of cars also involved, and we go yellow on lap number 1.
Yes, no yellows throughout the night here as we take a look at the instant replay, except for the A-Main feature event when it matters the most. So we'll take a look at that replay. We'll see how exactly they got all bunched up over there in turns 1 and 2, mid-pack. A little bit of contact there. And that is what caused the cookies to crumble, if you will. Tough break for Evan C. there. Got put in the wrong place at the wrong time, and a couple other drivers suffering that same fate.
Tanner Pettit already down into the work area, as well as Evan C. And it mentioned it there, Tyler. Just wrong place, wrong time, and Hoffman making contact with the rear of that 33, spinning C around into the path of Pettit, Adam Elby, as well as a few others. But yellow out here on lap number 1 with Pax Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Cars. We'll re-rack them and restack them.
So
Hoffman to the rear.
So even though we saw this track get reworked from the B main to the A main, nonetheless, this track is going to slick off fairly quick. So this track now, compared to what it will be in the closing laps, are going to be 2 completely different ball games.
And this is really one of the tracks, if you're a guy that likes setting up race cars and wants to figure out how to make race cars last over the course of a race, this is your type of racetrack right here. And Tyler, you summed it up perfectly. What we see right now will seem like a distant memory when we come features end. Green Flag is back out to take number 2 for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship here at Peevely. And once again, it's Timothy Smith out front down the back straightaway.
Yeah, no change in start there as we go green and got a lap complete now. Cars jockeying for position through the mid-pack. You take a look on your screen there, nearly 6 wide. What is going on here at Peevely? I can't even talk, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible racing here, early stages of this A-Main feature event.
Nobody's certainly waiting around, waiting for the track to come to them, that's for sure. Everybody is going for every possible inch of real estate. Still Timmy Smith at the front, Kenny Miller second, Clayton Tilley now moves into third. He sneaks past Eiler, and it's Forrester rounding out the top 5.
Tilly making his move here early. Kenny Miller also going to try to make a move now, going to the inside of Timothy Smith, who is your leader. You have it on your screen here. Clayton Tilley and Braden Eiler still in that position battle for third. Aiden Forrester with the best seat in the house. He's running the high side, but he's trying to keep that right rear off the wall. He cannot. Tilley making a move for third.
back to the inside of Eiler. He's got the spot for the moment. Eiler crosses him back. Slide job from Eiler in 1 and 2. Clears the 51, and it looks like he'll hold that spot, at least for the moment, as yellow flag is out. Slow car. That's Merrill Gearing, the 4th slow on the inside of turn number 3.
Tough break. Things were really heating up there. We'll take a look at the instant replay here to see what happened with Gearing. There you see him jockeying for position in the mid-pack. And it looks like, just got a little sideways, making contact with, I believe that's the 11 of Miller. Hoffman. Kenny Hoffman. See, Kenny Miller, Kenny Hoffman, but just got the wrong Kenny that time around. So Merle Gearing, unfortunately, get a little bent out of state there. Hoffman unable to make a move, and unfortunately, we have to go yellow once again.
For Kenny Hoffman, got sent to the rear after his involvement with that lap 1 incident, and gets caught up in that. And he is out of the race. Tanner Pettit, as well as Evan C., back in the work area, looking to repair more of that damage they sustained in lap 1 incident, as well as Ross Kaiser. He was involved in that most recent yellow flag incident.
Sean Timmerman, not a driver that we've seen often in this Apex series, currently sits amongst the top 10. Certainly a capable driver, and it's interesting to watch his return here to the iRacing ranks. Happy to see him here in Apex Series. We'll see how he does in this feature event. Once again, name of the game, keep your nose clean. We still got over 3/4 of this race to go.
Kenny Miller now challenging Smith for the lead. He's got it down the back straightaway. Kenny Miller to the lead, looking for the 3-peat. He's got the lead one more time off the Ford, but Braden Eiler is right there.
Braden Eiler just right behind him like a jet stream, if you will, going through 1 and 2. Now 3 and 4. Eiler coming up on the outside. What a move to the outside. Man, side by side. A lot of sides going on here, but a lot of battle for position, especially that top position here in lap number 11.
Miller with the slider in 3 and 4. He has got the lead at the stripe. Miller back to the inside. Slide drop through 1 and 2. Miller has got him cleared, not by much, as he smacks it off the crossover gate.
To quote the great Mike Lang, smiling like a butcher's dog. Not only the drivers are, but we are right now watching this 3-wide battle for the lead now. Timothy Smith says, yeah, I'll throw my hat into this ring. Unbelievable racing here at Peevely.
Don't look now. Aiden Forrester in car number 20 is laying back in the weeds. He could have a say in this one before this race is over, as we are closing in on halfway.
Plenty of racing still left to go. Just as you mentioned, Aiden Forrester, never roll him out of contention either. A lot of these people might just be waiting for their time to strike. A lot of these drivers may have set their cars up for late race. We will see which cars come to the front, which can stay up front. Kenny Miller, you might just be a sitting duck.
Alex Trzynski work on Aiden Beerline for that 6th spot. Trzynski low, can't quite make the pass on that 13. Trzynski back to the high side. Beerline in the wall, stats up Trzynski. They're still beating and banging down the back straightaway for the 6th spot. Trzynski now with the slider, he's got the spot.
Hannigan from winning the Bead main now up to 8th, and he is working. So is Ryan Avila. He's to the inside of Hannigan. That battle is for 7th and 8th respectively. A 4-car battle for that 6th and 7th spot. Unbelievable. Here in 1 and 2, Trzynski holds on, but here comes Beerline splitting the sandwich. He was the meat, but just for a second. Now back to the outside. He is the bread. A ton of changing positions here as we eclipse the halfway point.
Mind-boggling battle, making it now a 5-car battle for that 6th spot. Trzynski back pass for 6th. Beer to his inside. Avila going to try to swing wide of all of them through 1 and 2. Avila's got to run. Beerline back to the inside of Trzynski. It's hard to know where to look, but definitely this 5-car battle on the racetrack is breathtaking. 3 wide into 1.
Eric Whitner is where I'm looking right now as the yellow flag comes out. Oh no. Tough break. The racing was heating up. Let's take a look at the NLRA replay and see what happened. Looks like Pettit gets into LB, yeah, and that stacks him up on the backstretch, and a lot of cars coming to an abrupt stop. Merle Gearing getting collected there at the end.
See Blake Giglio down in there as well. So tough break for those guys. Tanner Pettit has had a rough go of it in the feature, got collected in that lap 1 incident. It's been coming back to the work area just about every chance he's had, trying to fix that car, and through no fault of his own ends up in the stack up number 2 and down the back straightaway.
Unbelievable racing. It was just really getting good there. But for position 6 through 10, Whitner said, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a go at this as well. And he was catching up to those guys. It was going to be interesting to see if he had anything. As we get these long green flag runs, if we can keep them going, I think we're going to have a very entertaining close to this 40-lap feature event.
Couldn't agree with you there more. Kenny Miller, currently your race leader, has proven time in and time out why he is one of the best on the iRacing servers. Recently picked up his first World of Outlaws win, and now looking to go 3 in a row with the Apex Autoglass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship, just to touch past the halfway point as Miller brings us back to the green.
Kenny Miller, I said, might be a sitting duck, but he might just be the winner as well. Timothy Smith in a battle with Braden Eiler for that second spot. But Timothy Smith, and we got contact. Eiler around. Oh, heartbreak city for Braden Eiler, who was running second. We go yellow.
They got into the back of Eiler through 3 and 4. That spun Eiler around, and calamity ensued behind them. Look, Goering got a piece as well as Michael Farron. Look at the NLRA replay. What happened? So watch Eiler in that black and white, number 5, and Tilly in 51. It looked like Tilly just got in the corner a little too hot. I don't think he was expecting Eiler to be that slow in the middle of the corner, and it stacked up Gehring, who went for a ride, as well as Michael Farron. Also see Blake Giglio diving down to the infield, trying to miss that. And a tough break for those two drivers. They were running 3rd, 4th at the time.
Yeah, it looked like Eiler made contact with his left front to the right rear of Timothy Smith, so he kind of checked up a little bit to try to avoid the contact, and unfortunately the adjustments weren't properly made there until he, not sure if he had nowhere to go or just didn't realize, again, like you mentioned, just the speed differential between the two drivers, and just one of those racing incidents. I'm sure nowhere near incidental, but sometimes that's just how things work out as the green flag once again flies. Lap 23, now 24. Kenny Miller, your leader.
Works to the high side through 1 and 2, but Tyler, you and I have been talking all night with this racetrack and how quickly it can change. One has to think the bottom could be a factor here as we're closing in on 10 laps to go. Currently, nobody's really been able to make the bottom work towards the front as we watch Mason Hannigan work really low through 3 and 4. He's about the lowest guy on the speedway right now, but he's buried all the way back in 7th.
You talk about working lines, inside, outside. Alex Strzynski stuck to that outside line. But for a moment there, we saw Ryan Avila rolling through the middle. Some of these drivers have that ability to work that middle, though it is arguably the slickest spot on the track. So we'll see if those drivers make that a point. Aiden Forrester looking to be that driver that pulls off history here tonight, now up in 3rd.
He's got to hold off Alex Strzynski and Aiden Beerline for the moment. Strzynski looking for his second podium in tonight, as well as Forrester. Forrester back to the inside down the front stretch. He short slides Strzynski. Beerline hanging right down there on the bottom. Has got the best seat in the house for this. A 4-car race for that 3rd spot. They're 3 wide off the corner, and they're going to go 3 wide into 1.
Gehring slow on the front stretch, holds to the inside line to avoid getting in anybody's way. We stay green flag racing here. Aiden Forrester up to 2nd. Still that battle for that 3rd, or rather up to the 3rd spot. Battle for 3rd still continues. 4 cars at it. Aiden Beerline to the inside, battling side by side with Strzynski. Strzynski pushes him back even further to the inside. 3 wide through 3 and 4. Unbelievable with 8 laps to go.
Strzynski all the way from 15th to 4th now as he barely edges ahead of Beerline. Aiden Forrester looks for the moment that he has cleared this battle and he can set his sights on Timothy Smith, who's running 2nd.
It's getting later and later in this race, and it doesn't look like that inside line is going to come in like we may have anticipated. Still may be too early to tell now with 6 laps remaining. Strzynski to the outside, side by side between Avila and Beerline. A lot of drivers making that inside line work, or rather the middle line work, surprising, which I did not really see that come into fruition.
Kenny Miller holds on to a slim lead over Timothy Smith. The difference just under 4/10 as they work down the back straightaway through 3 and 4. 5 laps to go from Peevely.
Timothy Smith smells blood in the water. And Kenny Miller, you might just be shark bait. Ooh-aha. We will find out here with 4 laps remaining. Kenny Miller not going anywhere yet, not losing too much ground, actually gaining some ground on Timothy Smith and advancing that gap between the two drivers.
Thing I've noticed about Miller's line the last lap or two is he doesn't enter on the wall, but through the middle of the corner. He's about on the wall, so a bit of a slider line. Meanwhile, Smith is committing to the wall on entry at both ends of the speedway. Doesn't seem to be the right combination for him right now, as just 2 laps to go.
Man, Timothy Smith with a jigsaw look on the front mask there. Timothy Smith wants to play a game, and the game is to win it. Can he do it here in these closing laps as they come around 3 and 4 to the white flag? Kenny Miller is your leader.
Kenny Miller looking to accomplish something that hasn't been done since season 1 of the series. Let's go 3 in a row. Kenny Miller rides the wall to victory lane here at Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It's Timothy Smith second, Aiden Forrester rounding out the podium. Aiden Bierlein, Szerzinski, Avila, Hannigan, Timberman, Eiler, and C rounding out your top 10.
What a race. Can you believe it, Drake? Unbelievable racing here at the I-55 Speedway in Pevely, Missouri. Federated Auto Parts I-55 Speedway, by the way. And Kenny Miller pulls off history, the second driver to ever three-peat in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Series.
That is a remarkable feat if you think about it, just because the sheer number of pro drivers that run this series on a consistent basis. Definitely the more impressive runs here in series history. Kenny Miller with his 3rd straight win. Your winner here tonight at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Timothy Smith 2nd, Aiden Forrester 3rd, Aiden Bierlein 4th, Alex Szerzinski rounds out the top 5. Ryan Avila 6th. Good points run tonight for Mason Hannigan. He finishes 7th. Timberman 8th, Braden Eiler 9th, Evan C. rounding out the top 10. Then it's Eric Whitner, Adam Elby, Mil Herring, Michael Farron, Blake Giglio, Clayton Tilley, Chris Sabske, Tanner Pettit, Ross Kaiser, and Kenny Hoffman rounding out your 20-car field. Oh, we have him now, Kenny Miller, 3-peat winner in Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship history since season 1. Kenny, what does that stat mean to you?
Yeah, it's definitely a super cool stat, especially with how tough this league is. To even win one race is tough in itself. So to be as good as we've been in 3 weeks, I think shows how good our team is right now and how good we're rolling.
Last time we were out here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, that race was won on the bottom, and I think some people maybe anticipated the track moving more towards the low side. Did you set up for that, or were you just committed to running the wall all the way around?
No, I think we were more committed for the top side. I think that's kind of been where I find the most speed at these bull rings recently. So, yeah, we turned a few practice laps last night in preparation for this and for Monday, and I think we're headed in the right direction.
I'd like to thank for getting you in victory lane tonight.
I'd like to thank everybody at Phantom Motorsports, 129 Racing, M9 Performance, Weichel Sportswear, and Velocity Race Designs for helping out.
Kenny Miller, for the first time since season 1, is a 3-peat winner with the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship.
Timothy Smith, 2nd place finish. Tell you what, Tim, solid night. You come fastest overall in qualifying, heat race winner. You start on the pole of the feature event. And though you fell 1 spot short here tonight, you can't be too upset with a podium finish.
No, we can't be too upset. We got a 1-2. Kenny got me again. He's really good when it gets really slick. We got to work on that a little bit, but just can't thank M9 and 129 to get me ready for these races.
It seems like in the Apex series this season, you've been a little bit behind the 8 ball, probably a little, at least in comparison to where you expected yourself to be at this point. But nonetheless, you still find yourself in the top 10 of points. A solid points run for you here tonight. Getting to that top 5 is really important, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's all about consistency. If you don't make features or if you finish outside that top 10, you can't have good points run every night. And two drop weeks help, but I mean, it's better if you can finish top 5 every single race and collect all those points.
And one thing I do have to pick your brain on here, the Jigsaw face on your helmet. What's the story behind Jigsaw?
It's not really Jigsaw himself. Like, it's probably my favorite horror franchise, and I just saw it on iRacing. I used it, and whenever I used it, I got a win. It was one of my first official wins ever, so I just kept it, and I raced with it ever since.
Well, it definitely proved its dividends here tonight. You definitely played a game, and you won that game of finishing on the podium. Congratulations, Timothy Smith. Once again, before we let you go, people that you would like to thank.
Of course, we got Tiger Towing, M9129, BPM, Tony Stewart, the Stewart House, Most Specialist, Wolf Pumps, Milestone. I know I'm forgetting people. Trevor and Isaac for spotting me in the Pro Series. Kenny Miller for helping me get ready for these races. Just can't thank those guys enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher here tonight, Timothy Smith.
Rounding out the podium tonight, last night's winner with the Next Level Racing 360s at Port Royal, Aiden Forrester. 2 podiums in 2 nights, not a bad run, but you were locked in for a 5-car race at one time for that 3rd spot. How was that? Because it seemed like, no one could really plan their moves. Everybody just kind of had to do and not think about it.
Yeah, I realized that I was running the wrong line and kind of moved down in those final laps. Kind of wish I did that a little earlier, but, you live and you learn, and we'll move on to the next one.
Obviously, that win last night at Port Royal had to be huge for your confidence, and you're chasing history tonight. You didn't get it, but is that one thing on your mind to become the first driver to win the Next Level Racing 360 and an Apex race in the same week?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It's going to be tough because Apex, a lot of competition here, but we'll keep digging. We'll see if we can get it done.
Anybody you'd like to thank for getting you on the podium?
Yeah, to Clayton Tilley at Speed Shop 51. Quality setups. I helped out a lot there. I really appreciate it.
That is Aiden Forster. He rounds out the podium tonight at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55.
Well, Drake, it's sad that some things just have to come to an end, but I tell you what a Christmas present we got from Santa himself here tonight. A beautiful night of racing at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 in Pevely, Missouri. We had a treat from the qualifying, trying to see if we could get that 9-second lap in. Unfortunately, fell just a little short. Tremendous heat race action, a delicious alphabet soup, all rounded off with a 40-lap grand finale, a main feature event with plenty of racing action.
Yeah, we just talked to Aiden Forrester about that the race for the 3rd spot. It wasn't a 3-car race. It was more about 5 and at some points probably 6, but is all you can really ask for when you come here. Tip of the cap to the track crew, or I should say Sparky, because I know he probably wants all the credit, and I'm sure I'll hear about that tomorrow, right, Tyler? But
yeah,
anyway,
he was still late.
He was still late, caused us to run the show a little late. But you know what? He made up for it, gave us a great racetrack, great series as always, and we'll be back next week with the penultimate round. Of course, the championship night will be January 5th. You're not going to want to miss that one on Ultimate Dirt TV, but crazy to think we only have 2 races left in this season of racing with the Apex Autoglass and Tinting Wing 410 Sprint Car Championship.
That you are right. That points battle is heating up. Who's going to win it? Hannigan leads it. We'll see how the points lie next week after this performance. But tell you what, Drake, it's going to be a fun last 2 weeks of this series.
Said it, and it'll be right here on Ultimate Dirt TV. But that's going to do it for us here tonight at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening with us. We'll be back next week. But until then, have a happy holiday season, no matter what you celebrate. And we'll see you next time at the racetrack.